mwega murumiriri wakwa njitagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi muini na muhunjia uhoro wa Ngai no ngohoye witikire rwimbo ruru rutuke rugambi rwaku mundu akuhurira akaigwa kirathimo ni ciugo icio ingirathimo-ini yaku uhinye *811 *59# o undu muhuthu *811 *59# rwimbo rwa megutha rutuke kirathimo hariwe
Ithue Dafari Properties Limited tuthiete na mbere na guthamaka ni undu wa kwendia migunda ina ready title deeds na riu turi na Amara Gardens project njega mwena wa matu ya 50/100 daika mugwanja kuma matu tauni kuria turakorera ciringi 235 ukabuka na ciringi 70,000 icengio karia kahora kahora. Migunda ino ina mai, thitima na neighbors marikuo niwe metereire na kuotheka Salama Estate mugunda wa 40/80 turakorera ciringi 750 peke yake, deposit ukaigera ciringi 200 tu. Migunda ino hakuhe na Ananas Mall na daika 15 kuma Thika tauni na ina mai, thitima. Kwa uhoro makiria tuhurire thimu kugerera namba 0796 999 333 nio kifogo mugwanja kenda ithathatu kenda 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 ithatu kana tucerere wabici-ini itu Thika tauni Mathai Matco Building. Dafari Properties Limited, turning dreams into reality.
Bwana sio ngoro wa matuko nile ndagithietikire yakanda gukwa ndero hai na ndegwa kwina taito ndenda kwa kanitha.
Delha Destiny Solutions Land Limited ni kambuni ngothi hari wendi wa ng'undu na kwa ihinda riri turi na migunda maguta mwena wa Joska, migunda ya 40/80 ira turakorera ciringi 950 peke yake with ready title deeds. Migunda ino ni mirige wega ina mai, thitima na neighbors marikuo niwe metereire. Ningi ni kundu ngetabaniri urimi ya mubarabara ni njega na kurigiciria na mathukuru, makanitha no wabici cia bata cia thirikari. Kwa uhoro makiria tucere wabici-ini itu mwena wa Kayole Junction kana tuhurire thimu namba 0799 337 119 kana 0721 666 942.
O muthenya o uria bururi urathie na mbere na kwigariura noguo maundu ngurani marathie na mbere na gukunuka, utonga wa bururi ugacenjia na gutumura mawoni ngurani iguru rigie wathani na utongoria, kuona ni maundu mahutagia mu Kenya na njira nene sekta-ini ya githomo, biashara, ugima mwega wa mwiri gatagati ka maundu mangi maingi. Na tondu mugikuyu ni ugire kwaraniria ni kwendana niki ikereka-ini ritu ria mwanya mohoro-ini ma muthi wa gatatu na wa kana tulimurikaga maundu maria marakuhutia we mwiroreri witu. Nitukigie na kariko ati wa gatatu na wa kana ni uri gucagia njungwa hari uri nyitanagira nani Gaturu wa Njeri mohoro-ini maitu o guku gwa ceceni ya Githima TV. Giki ni Githima gitahuaga kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere ndahoya maica-ini makwa kinyaga mbere itanakona nugia ndo mamenye muno itanakomba na itanararira kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere.
njitagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi mutungatiri waku wendete ungienda rwimbo ruu rutuike rugambi rwaku thimu-ini yaku mundu akuhurira akaigwa ihoya rya kinyaga mbere tonya thimu-ini yaku hihinye *811 *2227# o ringi *811 227#. Rwimbo ruru rutuike ihoya riaku ro nawe te mothani kinyaga mbere maundu-ini makwa riari ihoya riakwa reke rituike ihoya riaku o nawe.
Ndahoya maica-ini makwa kinyaga mbere itanakwona nugia ndo mamenye muno itanakomba na itanararira kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere.
Hihi ni uwi no wigwatire mugunda na ciringi 450 peke yake o muthenya? Ithue Mask and Shelters tugakuhe mweke wa kuhingia iroto ciaku cia kwigwatira mugunda wa 50/100 mwena wa Rumuruti kuria kuhetukitio na gutuika headquarters cia county ya Laikipia. Urabatara o kuriha deposit na thutha-ini kuhetukira mubango witu wa lipa mdogo mdogo ukariha o 450 o muthenya he mwaka umwe, nawe ukegwatira mugunda uria wi ndagika 7 peke yake kuma Rumuruti tauni uriganitie na cukuru wa Imani High School na Mathanje Primary ni mwirigire no kagayanio na wina ready title deed. He mundu uragura na cash money urafatara o 200 peke yake na toguo na kuo mwena wa posta farafara-ini ya Rumuruti Maralal na kuo tugakuhe mweke wa kwigwatira mugunda wa 50 by 100 na ciringi 550 peke yake kuria wina mweke mwega wa gwaka nyumba cia biashara ona kana gwa guikara kuona ni taoni irakura na gikiro kinene. Na kuri we muigithia wihariirie kuigithia riu nitugwiciritie na njira mwanya kuona twina mugunda taoni Thika mwena wa UTI kundu kwega gwa gwaka nyumba cia gukomborithia ni ndagika 3 tu kuma kiharo-ini gia Thika Stadium na ndagika 10 tu ugitembea kuma cukuru-ini wa Mount Kenya University mita nini wahetuka Thika High School. Mugunda uyu wa 40 by 80 tugakwenderia na 3.5 million peke yake wina ready title deeds ni kuirigire na ni broti nini citigarite wihike utanahetukwo ni mweke uyu. Tucerere wa ofisi-ini citu nyumba ya Thika West Building.
Njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũhunjia na mũini wa nyĩmbo cia Ngai. Rwĩmbo rũrũ rwĩtagwo Mũmagidalina rũragia Mwathani angĩũka ta ũmũthĩ-rĩ, hihi no acoke ta ũrĩa okĩte rita rĩa mbere. Nĩ ũndũ ahenania na atunyani nĩ maingĩhire biũ. Hihi angĩũka anyitwo nĩ borithi-rĩ, twama mũigĩrĩra mamũnyite na bunduki. Angĩũka taũni anyitwo nĩ kanjũ-rĩ, hihi angĩrwo anyitwo nakĩ. Angĩũkĩra kanitha-rĩ, angĩigĩrwo gĩtĩha. Angĩũka mũteti-rĩ, angĩũka na kĩama kĩrĩkũ. Thikĩrĩria rwĩmbo rũu no ingĩre thimũ-inĩ yaku ũhihinye star 811 star 258 hash or rĩngĩ star 811 star 258 hash. Rwĩmbo rũu tuĩke rũgambi rwaku na warũthikĩrĩria rũkagĩa na ũrutani harĩ we. Thank you. Ngoro ya mundu yatonyo ni ng'aragu gutiro ndo atangika gutiro ndo atangiaria ng'aragu ndi mataga we wa miaka igana we wokoro igana atia we wa kirathi kiriku ng'aragu yatonya ngoro ni yatonya ni kaba kugia na ng'aragu ya mwiri gukira ya ngoro. Rwimbo ruru rwitagwo ng'aragu ngureheire nigetha rutuike rugambi thimu-ini yaku na nigetha uria wahurira aruigwo rugatuika urutani aruthikiriria. Ingira thimu-ini yaku hinye star 837 star 59 hash or rĩngĩ star 837 star 59 hash. Rwĩmbo rũu rwa ng'aragu rũtuĩke ũrutani harĩ we.
Wow, marĩtwa makwa nĩ Paul Weru. Ũngĩenda kũnisupport wĩini-inĩ wakwa tuma kiugo skiza kũrĩ 952 10 300 kana 952 10-301 utume kuri 811 no menye guku ni gwa Githima TV kuria matacaguraga aini matuko maria mothe gutura thina irio ndona mwingi ugatendore wajikira ni tondu hinya watu turaga iguru riaku undu no wikike ihinda o riothe kuri undu wikika muturire-ini waku undu mweru no wikika undu Ngai ari muoyo wikaga maundu ikara wetereire kuri undu wikika ihinda o riothe undu no wikike.
Mwiroreri wakwa murata wakwa mwendwa wakwa marĩtwa makwa nĩ Bishop JJ Gitahi wa Drokasi. Rwĩmbo rũrũ ngũreheire rwĩtagwo ihinda o rĩothe ndakũinĩire nĩ kũmenya kwĩ hĩndĩ meciria ma mũndũ matabataraga nguo kana irio kana mbeca. Kwĩ hĩndĩ ngoro ya mũndũ ĩtabataraga kĩndũ kĩngĩ o tiga kĩrĩgĩrĩro tu gĩakorwo atĩ rũciũ maũndũ nĩ magakorwo me mega. Na nĩkĩo rwĩmbo rũrũ ngwenda ũingĩre thimũ-inĩ yaku wĩkĩre star 837 star 85 hash o rĩngĩ star 837 star 85 hash. Rwĩmbo rũrũ tuĩke rũgambi thimũ-inĩ yaku wokĩra ũkaigua atĩ ihinda o rĩothe ũndũ no wĩkĩke na ngoro yaku ikaraga yetereire atĩ hinga o rĩothe kũrĩ ũndũ ũrekĩka na kũrĩ ũndũ ũgwĩkĩka.
Undu no wikike Inda o yothe Avai ukumenya muno maundu maya wanyita wina mo no uri hana no tiagiri no uramenya uriu tigana ngari na smart muno no nayo gitwara bengi mundu ni aheo runi
Kake mwirite
wande uri hana thimu urahura igwa gwethete
kidogo
ate na igwa gwethire
niki
eka muhikira wakahire KAMAU
KAMAU ni ngari arabundithio
ate ndo
muheithia muthomithie gutwara ngari
gutwara ke
ngari
oyo ti ngari arabundithio gutwarithia ucio ni wendo arabundithio
uyu wakwa
eni
andu akonio ngari
ucio ni wendo aronio
muhiki wakwa
hau no marahambatanira
na KAMAU
ona kabonge anjuritie nguhe advice
ujeke atia
sio mutware thukuru njega kuria guthomithio wega
iriku
ito pass driving and computer college afundithio gutwarithia ngari wega
pass driving and computer college
eni
kuna kunyona
na hao kaguonie
gacira uterefaine na Topaz Driving School tucerere umuthi Ruhiro Avenue House kurigania na bengi ya KCB Thika Town turia kwina Safaricom Customer Care Limuru tuyo hau Equity Bank Rwaka ni kurigania na Clean Shelf Supermarket Makongo Thika ni Madaraka Market na Nairobi CBD tuyo Audioni o hau Quickmart tuhurire thimu muthenya wa umuthi 0703 555 111 Topaz Driving and Computer College, flagging your road to safety.
we mwega murumiriri wakwa jitagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi muini na muhunjia uhoro wa Ngai no ngohoye witikire rwimbo ruru rutuke rugambi rwaku mundu akuhurira akaigwa kirathimo ni ciugo icio ingirathimo-ini yaku uhinye *811 *59# o undu muhuthu *811 *59# rwimbo rwa megutha rutuke kirathimo hariwe
o muthenya o uria bururi urathie na mbere na kwigariura noguo maundu ngurani marathie na mbere na gukunuka utonga wa bururi ugacenjia na gutumura mawoni ngurani iguru rigie wathani na utongoria kuona ni maundu mahutagia mu Kenya na njira nene sekta-ini ya githomo biashara ugima mwega wa mwiri gatagati ka maundu mangi maingi na tondu mugikuyu ni ugire kwaraniria ni kwendana nikikereka-ini ritu ria mwanya mohoro-ini ma muthi wa gatatu na wa kana tulimurikaga maundu maria marakuhutia we mwiroreri witu nitukigie na kariko ati wa gatatu na wa kana ni uri gucagia njungwa hari uri nyitanagira nani gaturu wa njeri mohoro-ini maitu o guku gwa ceceni ya Githima TV gikini Githima gitahuaga
kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere ndahoya maica-ini makwa kinyaga mbere itanakuona nugia andu mamenye muno itanakomba na itanararira kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere
jitagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi mutungatiri waku wendete ungienda rwimbo ruu rutuike rugambi rwaku thimu-ini yaku mundu akuhurira akaigwa ihoya kinyaga mbere tonya thimu-ini yaku hihinye *811 *2227# o ringi *811 227# rwimbo ruru rutuike ihoya riaku oro nawe te mwathani kinyaga mbere maundu-ini makwa riari ihoya riakwa reke rituike ihoya riaku o nawe
ndahoya maica-ini makwa kinyaga mbere itanakuona nugia andu mamenye muno itanakomba na itanararira kinyaga mbere muthanie kinyaga mbere Magidalina,
Njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũhunjia na mũini wa nyĩmbo cia Ngai. Rwĩmbo rũrũ rwĩtagwo Mũmagidalina rworagia Mwathani angĩũka ta ũmũthĩ-rĩ, hihi no acoke ta ũrĩa okĩte rita rĩa mbere. Nĩ ũndũ ahenania na atunyani nĩ maingĩhire biũ. Hihi angĩũka anyitwo nĩ borithi-rĩ, to mamũigĩrĩra mamũnyite na bunduki. Angĩũkĩra taũni anyitwo nĩ kanjũ-rĩ, hihi angĩrwo anyitwo nake. Angĩũkĩra kanitha-rĩ, angĩigĩrwo gĩtĩha. Angĩũka mũteti-rĩ, angĩũka na kĩama kĩrĩkũ. Thikĩrĩria rwĩmbo rũu, no ũingĩre thimũ-inĩ yaku, ũhihinye *811*258# o rĩngĩ *811*258#. Rwĩmbo rũu rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku na warũthikĩrĩria rũkagĩa na ũrutani harĩwe. Thank you. Ngoro ya mundu yatonyo nĩ ng'aragu, gũtirĩ ũndũ atangĩka, gũtirĩ ũndũ atangĩaria. Ng'aragu ndĩmataga wĩ wa mĩaka igana, wĩ wa ũkũrũ igana atĩa, wĩ wa kĩrathi kĩrĩkũ. Ng'aragu yatonya ngoro nĩ yatonya. Nĩ kaba kũgĩa na ng'aragu ya mwĩrĩ gũkĩra ya ngoro. Rwĩmbo rũrũ rwĩtagwo ng'aragu ngũreheire nĩgetha rũtuĩke rũgambi thimũ-inĩ yaku, na nĩgetha ũrĩa wahũrĩra arũigua rũgatuĩka ũrutani arũthikĩrĩria. Ingĩra thimũ-inĩ yaku hihinye *837*59# o rĩngĩ *837*59#. Rwĩmbo rũu rwa ng'aragu rũtuĩke ũrutani harĩwe.
Wow, marĩtwa makwa nĩ Paul Werũ. Ũngĩenda kũnisupport wĩini-inĩ wakwa, tũma kiugo skiza kũrĩ 952-10-300 kana 952-10-301 ũtũme kũrĩ 811. No menye gũkũ nĩ gwa Githima TV kũrĩa matacagũraga aini. Matukũ marĩa mothe ngũtũra thĩna, irio ndona mũingĩ ugatĩ ndũrĩ wanjĩkĩra, nĩ tondũ hinya waku ũtũraga igũrũ rĩaku. Ũndũ no wĩkĩke ihinda o rĩothe, kũrĩ ũndũ wĩkĩka mũtũrĩre-inĩ waku, ũndũ mwerũ nĩ wĩkĩka, tondũ Ngai arĩ muoyo ũrĩa wĩkaga maũndũ ikara wetereire. Kũrĩ ũndũ wĩkĩka ihinda o rĩothe, ũndũ no wĩkĩke.
Mwĩroreri wakwa, mũrata wakwa, mwendwa wakwa, marĩtwa makwa nĩ Bishop JJ Gitahi wa Drokasi. Rwĩmbo rũrũ ngũreheire rwĩtagwo ihinda o rĩothe. Ndakũinĩire nĩ kũmenya kwĩ hĩndĩ meciria ma mũndũ matabataraga nguo kana irio kana mbeca. Kwĩ hĩndĩ ngoro ya mũndũ ĩtabataraga kĩndũ kĩngĩ o tiga kĩĩrĩgĩrĩro tu gĩakorwo atĩ rũciũ maũndũ nĩ magakorwo me mega. Na nĩkĩo rwĩmbo rũrũ ngwenda ũingĩre thimũ-inĩ yaku wĩkĩre *837*85# o rĩngĩ *837*85#. Rwĩmbo rũrũ rũtuĩke rũgambi thimũ-inĩ yaku, wokĩra ũkaigua atĩ ihinda o rĩothe ũndũ no wĩkĩke, na ngoro yaku ikaraga yetereire atĩ ihinda o rĩothe kũrĩ ũndũ ũrekĩka na kũrĩ ũndũ ũgwĩkĩka. Ũndũ no wĩkĩke ihinda o rĩothe.
Avai ũkũmenya mũno maũndũ maya wanyita wĩna mo no ũrĩa hana noti ya ngiri no ũramenya rĩu tiga na ngari na wĩ smart mũno no nayo ũgĩtwara bengi mũndũ nĩ aheo rũni
Gake mwĩrĩte.
Wande ule hana noti mũrahũra igua gwethete
Kidogo.
ate na igua gwethire
Nĩkĩ?
ĩkaĩ mũhikĩro wakwa haire Kamangũ.
Kamangũ nĩ ngari arabundithio.
Ate ndũ
Mũheithia mũthomithie gũtwara ngari.
Gũtwara kĩ?
Ngari.
Ũyũ ti ngari arabundithio gũtwarithia. Ũcio nĩ wendo arabundithio.
Ũyũ wakwa?
Ĩni.
Andũ akuonio ngari.
Ũcio nĩ wendo aronio.
Mũhiki wakwa?
Hau nĩho marahambatanĩra.
Na Kamangũ?
Ona kaba ũngĩanjũrĩtie ngũhe advice.
Njĩke atĩa?
Tio mũtware thukuru njega kũrĩa gũthomithio wega.
Ĩrĩkũ?
Ĩtwa Pass Driving and Computer College abundithio gũtwarithia ngari wega.
Pass Driving and Computer College.
Ĩni.
Kamangũ nĩ ũkũnyona.
Na ha ũkanguonie.
Gacĩra ũtereba-inĩ na Topaz Driving School. Tũcerere ũmũthĩ Ruhiro Avenue House kũrigania na bengi ya KCB. Thika Town tũrĩa kwĩna Safaricom Customer Care. Limuru twĩo hau Equity Bank. Rwaka nĩ kũrigania na Clean Shelf Supermarket. Makongo Thika nĩ Madaraka Market na Nairobi CBD twĩ Odeoni o hau Quickmart. Tũhũrĩre thimũ mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ 0703 555 111. Topaz Driving and Computer College, flagging your road to safety.
None are modo wanyendire kamo gĩtoria ngoro yakwa gĩkũnyita nyitire ngĩaga megutha ona itarĩ wa kũmwenda ngĩaga megutha ndarĩ na itũmi ciakwa cia kũmũrega ĩndĩ twatũkania maitho ngĩaga megutha.
Wĩ mwega mũrũmĩrĩri wakwa, njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũini na mũhunjia wa ũhoro wa Ngai. No ngũhoya wĩtĩkĩre rwĩmbo rũrũ rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku, mũndũ akũhũrĩra akaigua kĩrathimo nĩ ciugo icio. Ingĩra thimũ-inĩ yaku ũhinye *811*59#. O ũndũ mũhũthũ *811*59#. Rwĩmbo rwa megutha rũtuĩke kĩrathimo harĩ we.
O mũthenya o ũrĩa bũrũri ũrathiĩ na mbere na kwĩgariũra noguo maũndũ ngũrani marathiĩ na mbere na gũkunũka, ũtonga wa bũrũri ũgacenjia na gũtumũra mawoni ngũrani igũrũ rĩgiĩ wathani na ũtongoria, kuona nĩ maũndũ mahutagia Mũkenya na njĩra nene.
No nĩ harĩ mũndũ wanyendire ikamũĩ ndaiguĩte ũhoro wake akĩnjĩrigĩrĩria njoĩ nĩ waumĩte kũ kanendaga atĩa thutha wa ihinda gĩtoria ngoro yakwa gĩkũnyita nyitire ngĩaga megutha ona itarĩ wa kũmwenda ngĩaga megutha ndarĩ na itũmi ciakwa cia kũmũrega ĩndĩ twatũkania maitho ngĩaga megutha.
Wĩ mwega mũrũmĩrĩri wakwa, njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũini na mũhunjia wa ũhoro wa Ngai. No ngũhoya wĩtĩkĩre rwĩmbo rũrũ rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku, mũndũ akũhũrĩra akaigua kĩrathimo nĩ ciugo icio. Ingĩra thimũ-inĩ yaku ũhinye *811*59#. O ũndũ mũhũthũ *811*59#. Rwĩmbo rwa megutha rũtuĩke kĩrathimo harĩ we.
O mũthenya o ũrĩa bũrũri ũrathiĩ na mbere na kwĩgariũra noguo maũndũ ngũrani marathiĩ na mbere na gũkunũka, ũtonga wa bũrũri ũgacenjia na gũtumũra mawoni ngũrani igũrũ rĩgiĩ wathani na ũtongoria, kuona nĩ maũndũ mahutagia Mũkenya na njĩra nene sekta-inĩ ya gĩthomo, biacara, ũgima mwega wa mwĩrĩ, gatagatĩ ka maũndũ mangĩ maingĩ. Na tondũ Mũgĩkũyũ nĩ augire kwaranĩria nĩ kwendana, nĩkĩo ikereka-inĩ ritũ rĩa mwanya mohoro-inĩ ma mũthĩ wa gatatũ na wa kana tũrĩmũrĩkaga maũndũ marĩa marakũhutia we mwĩroreri witũ. Nĩtũkĩgĩe na karĩko atĩ wa gatatũ na wa kana nĩ ũrĩgucagia njũng'wa harĩa ũrĩnyitanagĩra naniĩ Gaturu wa Njeri mohoro-inĩ maitũ o gũkũ gwa ceceni ya Githima TV. Gĩkĩ nĩ Githima gĩtahũaga.
Kinyaga mbere mũthanie kinyaga mbere ndahoya maica-inĩ makwo kinyaga mbere itanakuona nugia andũ mamenye mũno itanakombakomba na itanararĩra kinyaga mbere mũthanie kinyaga mbere.
Njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũtungatĩri waku wendete. Ũngĩenda rwĩmbo rũu rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku thimũ-inĩ yaku, mũndũ akũhũrĩra akaigua ihoya rĩa kinyaga mbere, tonya thimũ-inĩ yaku hihinye *811*2227#. O rĩngĩ *811*227#. Rwĩmbo rũu rũtuĩke ihoya rĩaku oro nawe. Te Mwathani kinyaga mbere maũndũ-inĩ makwa, rĩarĩ ihoya rĩakwa, reke rĩtuĩke ihoya rĩaku o nawe.
Ndahoya maica-inĩ makwo kinyaga mbere itanakuona nugia andũ mamenye mũno itanakombakomba na itanararĩra kinyaga mbere mũthanie kinyaga mbere. Makereta nĩmekũmũraga no niĩ no ndĩmũtũnge ndĩmwĩte Mwathani kamarĩ mumo magindalina ndĩmwake maguta marĩa manungi wega kamarĩ mumo magindalina kamarĩ mumo magindalina kamarĩ mumo magindalina.
Njĩtagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi, mũhunjia na mũini wa nyĩmbo cia Ngai. Rwĩmbo rũrũ rwĩtagwo Mũmagidalina rũragia Mwathani angĩũka ta ũmũthĩ-rĩ, hihi no acoke ta ũrĩa okĩte rita rĩa mbere, nĩ ũndũ ahenania na atunyani nĩ maingĩhire biũ. Hihi angĩũka anyitwo nĩ borithi-rĩ, to mamũigĩrĩra mamũnyite na bunduki. Angĩũkĩra taũni anyitwo nĩ kanjũ-rĩ, hihi angĩrwo anyitwo nakĩ? Angĩũkĩra kanitha-rĩ, angĩigĩrwo gĩtĩha? Angĩũka mũteti-rĩ, angĩũka na kĩama kĩrĩkũ? Thikĩrĩria rwĩmbo rũu no ingĩre thimũ-inĩ yaku ũhihinye *811*258#. O rĩngĩ *811*258#. Rwĩmbo rũu rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku na warũthikĩrĩria rũkagĩa na ũrutani harĩ we. Thank you.
Abai. Abai. Ukumenya muno maundu maya. Wanyita. Wina mo. No uri hana no tiagiri. No uramenya uriu. Tiga na ngari na we smart muno. No na yo gitwaro bengi mundu ni aheo runi.
Kake mwirite.
Wande ule hana thimu urahura igwa gwethete.
Kidogo.
Ate? Na igwa gwethire?
Niki?
Eka muhikira wako haire KAMAU.
KAMAU ni ngari arabundithio.
Ate ndo?
Muheire amuthomithie gutwara ngari.
Gutwara ke?
Ngari.
Oyo ti ngari arabundithio gutwarithia. Ucio ni wendo arabundithio.
Uyu wakwa?
Yeni.
Andu akwo ndio ngari.
Ucio ni wendo aronio.
Muiko.
Onya muno makiri muri mundu wa Githima TV Githima gitahuaga na moko mere na gitio kinene ngonyitio gani thini wa tabarĩra no guthi tabarĩra ya Githima Gugithera ni kwarahukire na ngura kuri gukie gutire gwarere bisho kana nini mahuri-ini. Good morning ngakihoka ati ni ragithagathaga muno makiri gukorwo ikungwira muthenya wa muthenya ni muthenya wa 20th October ana gutondekera hagu hitu rakungwira muthenya uriku no iti idire tukamba turikendere tutanarika mabraine niguo kumenyithia uria maundu magukorwo magitari muthenya wa umuthi na muthenya wa umuthi tukira wakiri uhireire wakiri kuma igoti togeru High Court mundu wekeneta Elvis Abenga eguku tuko twikirunga oregimeni na watho wa igai kana succession na ndio kunjitekeria tuko tugishenjere thiomi na tuko tukimemerekia na thiomi rwa githoku niguo tuko tugitheragia. Good morning wakili.
Morning.
How are you?
Very well.
Welcome to Githima Television.
Thank you.
We are very happy to have you today.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be discussing a very good topic about succession, a sensitive issue that has been disturbing people each and every day. And it is an honor, and I'd like you to say hi to our viewers, introduce yourself again as well, so that you can kick on from there.
Yeah. Hi everyone, Elvis Abenga is my name. I am a family and commercial lawyer, based in Nairobi.
Okay. Wow. Based in Nairobi.
Yes.
Which experience do you have in the advocate industry?
I have been practicing law for over 10 years. Actually, I'm about to start my 12th year.
Wow.
Now, yeah.
Wow. We'll be discussing about succession. Maybe in the introduction part. What is succession? Okay.
So succession is a process, a legal process, where the beneficiaries of an estate of someone who's passed away administer that estate and be able to share property from the person who passed away to now the remaining beneficiaries or dependents.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And why is succession important? Okay.
Succession is very important because when someone passes away and they leave property, sometimes we have people who just go and divide that property without going through the court process.
Wow.
That is a crime under the law. It's called intermeddling. You're not supposed to do anything with when someone has passed away without going through the court process.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And Wakiri, tell us, how do the law of succession apply in Kenya?
So the succession applies to everybody. We have two types of succession in Kenya. We have what we call probate and probate succession or tested succession. That is where someone has died with a will. And we have the other type of succession called intestate, where someone did not leave a will behind. Yes.
Wakili, you have mentioned a will.
Yes.
What is a will and how is it executed?
A will is a document, let me not say a document, because we can also have an oral will. But oral wills are usually valid only for 3 months. Where someone, someone is sick and they think they will die within 3 months. The person just speaks out and says, if I die, I want my car to go to so and so, my house to go to so and so. That is an oral will. But a written will is an express declaration where someone who owns property says, in the event if I die, this is how I want my property distributed to all my dependents.
Wow.
Yes.
Wakili, who can make a will and what are the requirements?
Anybody can make a will.
Anybody?
Anybody. In fact, you don't even need a lawyer to make a will. For a will to be valid,
Okay.
all you need to do is to know your property,
Okay.
write it down,
Okay.
know who your beneficiaries are, and
Okay.
say this property is being moved to this beneficiary when I die,
Okay.
and have at least 2 witnesses
Okay.
who are not your beneficiaries. Sign.
Okay.
If you can even people draft a will even on a foolscap.
Okay.
You write it with a pen and you say this is my property, and then you have 2 people who are not beneficiaries signing the will.
Wow. Wakiri, what is a probate and how is it obtained?
So a grant, it's called a grant of probate.
Okay.
It is obtained through the court.
Okay.
Where now a will usually mentions someone called an executor.
Okay.
An executor is someone who will make sure
that
the desires or the intentions of the person who died are met to come to pass. Yeah. So the executor will go to court.
Wow.
File that will, if it's a paper, if it's a document in a lawyer's office, whatever it is, goes to court and files it and says, now please give me a grant of probate so that I can administer the estate of the deceased in accordance to what is written here.
Wow.
Then the court will summon, first the court will follow through the grant process. Some of the documents that are usually asked is a chief's letter showing who are the beneficiaries, and then there are some forms that are filled. Then the grant is gazetted, and then after 1 month of gazettement, the grant comes out. Then 6 months later, the court has a sitting where all the beneficiaries of the estate come to court to confirm that they are okay with the estate being distributed according to the will.
Wow.
Then the grant is confirmed.
Perfect. Wakiri, you have mentioned an executor.
Yeah.
Tell us, what are the roles of an executor and an administrator?
Yes. So those terms, an executor is used where there was a will and it named somebody there as an executor. But if there was no will, then the person who applies for a grant, now it's called letters of administration, that is an administrator. So what these 2 people do the same thing. One is to collect all the property, to ascertain all the property of the person who died and have a list. Now the good thing with for an executor, mostly you will find the will already has listed the properties. But you might find even the person who wrote the will forgot some kind of property. So it's the work of the executor to go and find out this property as well as the administrator, and then sit down with the family to determine who is getting what.
Wow.
Yes.
And how are the assets distributed when someone dies in the interstate?
In intestate.
Interstate succession.
So first and foremost, there's usually a hierarchy of dependents. The first is a wife or wives, if they may be. And then we have children who come right after the wives. Then we have other stepchildren, grandchildren, extended family, to the extent in which they were provided for while the deceased was still alive.
Wow.
So the property is distributed. A wife or wives, they get what is called a life interest in the property. A life interest simply means the property does not move to them, but they are able to use the property. If it's a house, they continue living in that house. They're also entitled to personal effects of the deceased, if it's clothes, things that the deceased held personally. Now children, on the other hand, are now the ones who inherit property in the sense that the property gets transmitted to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. So in short, Wakiri, who are the beneficiaries in intestate succession?
So the beneficiary, as I said, the first is a wife. If the deceased had a wife or any wives in a polygamous setting. Then the second is children. children that the deceased's own children,
Okay.
and any other children that he or she had taken in,
Okay.
like either through an adoption
Wow.
or was maintaining that child in one way or another. And then we have extended family
Okay.
coming after that.
Mm-hmm.
That is now brothers, sisters, grandparents,
Okay.
even the deceased parents
Wow.
themselves.
Wow.
They come in after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Wakiri, how does the law protect the dependents in intestate succession?
The law allows dependents
Okay.
who have not been provided for.
Okay.
Sometimes you find, because of some African cultures,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you find women not inheriting
Mm-hmm.
per se, or being disinherited, which is
Mhm.
illegal because the law allows right now even girls to be able to inherit.
Mm-hmm.
So where a dependent feels that they've been disinherited through this
Okay.
process,
Okay.
or they feel like the administration of the estate is not working to their favor,
Okay.
they have a right to go to court
Okay.
to challenge.
Mhm.
They take out what is called a citation,
Okay.
or they take out someone's challenging
Okay.
the estate and saying we also need to be provided for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wakiri, can a will be contested?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
a will can be contested,
Mm-hmm.
and many times has been contested.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, again on the
Mhm.
same grounds.
Mm-hmm.
If a person died and provided for, he has 6 children as an example,
Mm-hmm.
provided for 5 and forgot one,
Mm-hmm.
that one who's not been provided for has a right to challenge that
Mhm.
will.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can a will be revoked or maybe amended?
Yes, it can,
Mm-hmm.
by the person who made it, the
Mhm.
deceased, the person who died.
Okay.
If they make a will,
Mm-hmm.
if today I make a will and I
Mhm.
decide things have changed and I want to change my will, I have the
Mhm.
authority. I can make either making a separate will,
Okay.
with the revoking the first will,
Okay.
or doing a document called a codicil
Okay.
that alters some specific positions in the will.
Wow. So in
Yeah.
short, Wakiri, how can or maybe what are the formalities of executing a valid will?
So, first of all, the will for the will to be valid, as I said, it
Okay.
must mention all the dependents.
Okay.
The person making must be sane, knowing
Mhm.
all the property at that
Mhm.
point,
Okay.
and then there must be 2 independent
Mhm.
witnesses who've signed.
Okay.
And by independent, these are witnesses who are not benefiting anything
Perfect. Mhm.
from the will.
Okay.
Then they are the ones and it must name an executor.
Mhm.
Yeah, otherwise it becomes a letters of administration with a will.
Okay.
So now the executor is the one who goes to court and says, I want the will to be done.
Okay.
Mm.
And who can claim the provision from the deceased estate?
The dependents.
Okay.
Just the way the order I mentioned,
Mhm.
first the wives, then
Mhm.
the children,
Okay.
then any extended family.
And how does the court determine the maintenance of the dependents?
It first depends
Okay.
on if there was a will.
Okay.
The court will give effect to the will as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no will and it is now intestate,
Mm-hmm.
and say the dependent, the person who died said had 3 wives.
Okay.
So each wife is considered a household.
Okay.
So there's a ratio in which
Mhm.
they calculate. If wife number 1 had 2 children,
Mm-hmm.
and wife number 2 had 2 children, wife number 3 had 2 children as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll find in this household
Mm-hmm.
there are 3
Okay.
people.
Wow.
In this other household there are also 3.
Mhm.
In this other there are 3.
Okay.
So the ratio that would be divided is 3, 3, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and can adult children claim provision from the parents' estate?
Yes, they
How?
can.
Mhm.
Yes, and most of the cases we have in court, it's adult children who are
Okay.
who are
Mhm.
challenging because they're dependents.
Mhm.
The law recognizes your right as a person to inherit from your parent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Elvis. So tell us, what are the most common challenges that are found in succession cases?
The biggest challenge
Mhm.
is selfishness. Let me just say that, yeah. Where the someone wants to inherit more than the other people. And so I have done cases, even right now, I have a case that I am doing that started before I was born. So a case that started 45 years ago, still in court up to right now. And we're wondering, it's just because there's some selfishness, people don't want to agree as a family. And for as long as you as a family have not agreed, the court will not help you. The court will wait until you get into a point where you agree. Because we end up getting situations, the court issues a grant, the grant is confirmed. 2 years later, someone goes to court and says, I want to have the confirmed grant revoked. Yeah.
Wow. Wakiri, I know you have a lot of experience in solving these cases. Tell us, how can succession disputes be resolved according to your experience, maybe?
The best way of resolving succession disputes is through mediation. Yeah. Where the family sits. There are times when I've called everyone to my office, yeah? We just sit down and say, okay, so where exactly is the problem here? Why do you think this is wrong? Why do you think, when you hear people out, you're able to balance things out and come up with an agreement that works, which we now file in court. If families can just sit down and talk, even if it's extended, even if it is their different households, polygamous, just sitting down and talking, you save so much money in paying lawyers, lots of money in legal fee, you spend a lot of time in courts that is unnecessary, which could have been avoided just through this talking.
Wow. I really have a question. Can the deceased properties be sold or transferred before distribution?
No, it can't. That becomes a crime. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's taken very seriously. There's someone 2 weeks ago who was jailed for a full year for trying, one of the sons in an estate decided to go and sell property without getting a grant. They were jailed for a full year. Yeah.
Wow. Wakiri, how does succession law apply in polygamous marriage?
So in polygamous marriage, first and foremost, each of the children in those households has a right to inherit in the ratio that I was sharing. Every wife, each of the wife has a right to a life interest in their households. If they are different houses, they have a right to live in those houses without being chased away. They have a right to use the property without being interfered with until they pass away. Yeah.
Wakiri, what are the rights of surviving spouses in succession law?
So, life interest. That's a life interest. That's the only right the surviving spouses have over the property. A surviving spouse does not have a right to transmission of the property in their own name. Yeah. Of course, there are some other modifications there, but that is the overriding principle. Yeah.
And how are children from previous marriages protected?
So children have a right to inherit, even where the marriage with the deceased came to an end, for as long as the child can show that they are biologically the deceased person's child, they have an automatic right to inherit.
Wow. And how are the children from previous marriages protected?
Same, even from previous marriages, that is still a child of the deceased. So when the property is being distributed for children of the current marriage, any children, not even from previous marriages, even children gotten out of wedlock, children who maybe the deceased had an affair with, had a girlfriend somewhere and got a child, that child still has a right to inherit. Yeah.
Okay, how can people, and maybe more so our views, plan succession effectively?
So I'll tell you something. Yeah? Nowadays, we are moving away from the traditional succession in estate planning. Yeah? We're moving away from the traditional estate planning where you're using a will because of these troubles that we're having with wills being challenged. Even the intestate process is a long process. I would highly advise anyone who wants to plan for their future and the future of how their property is being used to consider using something called a trust. Setting up what we call a not a charitable, a family personal trust, where they can then move the property to the trust. It is a more stable form of estate planning. Maybe some other time we'll get to talk about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the benefits of making a will?
Benefits is you have some level of certainty. You need and some level of control. You need to know, you get to know how your property is going to be used. Yeah.
Wow.
And you avoid a lot of problems with people saying, I want this portion of land, and another one saying, no, I want the same portion, then it becomes a court case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, how can families avoid succession disputes?
So families can avoid succession disputes through, first of all, giving effect to a deceased person's will. If there's a will, to the best possible.
Wow.
Two, if there's sit down as a family and agree. Yeah.
Wow.
It's only in the cases where there is completely lack of agreement that now the court comes in and takes effect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wakiri, can you share some notable succession cases in Kenya?
Yes, we've had unfortunately most of these succession cases, especially where there are big estates. Like there's an ongoing succession case relating to the late second president of our country. It's a case that's been going on for a long time, ever since he passed away. Yeah, again, where you get there's a problem where dependents are not seeing eye to eye, is on all that. Yeah.
Wow.
But nowadays, as I said, people are seeing. Even for instance, the late Gerishon Kirima.
Wow.
If you remember about him, his succession case has also been in court for some time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do courts interpret succession laws in Kenya?
We have the Law of Succession Act, and we have cases that guide how courts determine such disputes. But the principles which I have shared with you, that's what the court usually does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
There is a question here. Are there proposed reforms to succession laws in Kenya?
Yes, law reform is a continuous process. Initially, I'll give you an example. Men were not considered, husbands were not considered to be dependent under the Law of Succession Act. So if you're a man and your wife passed away, you did not have the same interest, life interest over that property, the same way the wives had. But that changed now. Through law reform, husbands are now recognized as dependents as well. There was a time in which former wives were not recognized. Now they are recognized. Yeah. So it's an ongoing process. Yeah, that reform is going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wakiri, how have technology impacted succession planning?
The good thing about technology is we now have applications online, for example, that help you do a will. Yeah.
Wow.
Even for those who are on Android, you can check an Android Google Play Store and you search estate planning applications or will applications. You're able to do that. It helps you gather the necessary information and creates a will for you. So it makes that process a lot easier.
Wakiri, what advice would you give to individuals who are watching us right now and are in the process of starting something to do with succession?
That's a good thing to do. If you are alive right now, we know everyone will die at one point or another.
Yeah, sure.
So you don't just sit back and wait to die so that your property is fought for. Provide for your children when you're alive and take care of them when you're not alive. Yeah. Everyone should at least on a minimum have a will. Yeah. Or a trust. But do something that will protect your family. Unfortunately, in this country, I have seen situations where someone doesn't, you die without a will, and then your extended family, like your brothers, your sisters, they come and take everything from your house and leave your children in the street. You can prevent that from happening by just planning yourself properly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wakiri, tell us, how can people ensure that their wishes are respected after that?
So it's, apart from doing the will or a trust, if you want to go down that road, communicate, get your family together and say, in the event that I die, I have done a will, and this is what I have said. So and so gets this, so and so gets this. When you communicate like that, and everyone is hearing, it minimizes a problem arising later on, because everyone knows those were your intentions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wakiri, what are the key takeaways from our discussion today on the law of succession?
So key takeaway number one, do not ignore the process. When you're alive, do a will or do a trust, whichever way you think. For a trust, you will need to consult a lawyer on that. Make sure you know all your property. Make sure you know all the people who are dependent on you, your primary dependent, and provide for them in the will if you want to do that. So that it minimizes chances of that being challenged in court. If someone has passed away without a will, do not divide the property until you've gotten an order, a grant, and the grant has been confirmed by court. Otherwise, you're committing a crime.
Wow. Greetings from Beth Shege Wagashage. She's saying that she's watching us from Kiganjo Thika, Mbuta Mamai watching from El Bakon. We have Wakiri John Garamba and company advocates. He's saying he's watching us from Ruiru. There is Wakiri Susan, she's also in. Anasema watching, Salimia Wakiri Sana. There is someone here known as Peter KAMAU, Akondani. Anasema watching, good morning, Salimi, say hi to Wakiri. There is someone known as Karimwai watching, Ako tuned. There is someone known as Gasharage John watching, Paul Shege watching, Joyce Wamboi watching from Keno, and so many people who are sending comments this morning. Wakili, tell us about the company that you run and what your law firm deals with.
So I run a law firm called Begis Law Offices and Chambers. There is usually a limitation. The law does not allow us to publicly advertise per se, but I would tell anyone who wants to reach out to me to just check the Smiling Lawyer. My handle on TikTok is the Smiling Lawyer.
The Smiling Lawyer?
Yes, the Smiling Lawyer, or Elvis Abenga on TikTok. You can always engage
the
there.
Smiling Lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And which are the cases that are disturbing people nowadays about the law, or maybe some issues that we'd like to touch on to keep our viewers on toes?
The issues that really go to court, I'll say, for me, I am what we call a dispute avoidance lawyer. Yeah. I try to help people avoid disputes as much as possible. 99% of the cases that go to court are very unnecessary. Yeah, sure. And people spend so much money in court when they could have avoided some of these things. Yeah. So again, it is just selfishness. Succession matters that go to court is just because the family failed to discuss and talk, or there was poor succession planning.
Wow.
Those are the things that affect.
This is great. Okay, can you share your number?
My number for those who are listening is 0723 31 38 33. And again, you can always reach out to me via TikTok. I have a very active platform there. I share legal nuggets every week. Actually, once every day. Yeah, and we have quite an engagement there. The Smiling Lawyer on TikTok.
The Smiling Lawyer.
Yes.
That is perfect. Our viewers, this is Wakiri Elvis Abenga, advocate of the High Court. He deals with family issues. He's a commercial lawyer. True?
True.
Wow. I would like you to give the last words to our viewers as well.
Yeah. Final words, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, plan your estate. They say when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Don't let your family break down because you did not make a provision for that.
Sure.
I have seen families that were very strong families in this country, very united, and then once someone the head of the home passes away, the family breaks down because of fights. You can avoid this by planning yourself properly, doing a will or setting up a trust, and later on communicating well. And for those families that are engaged in litigation in court, imagine you can save a lot of money by just talking to each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wakili, do you have someone who inspires you?
Oh yes. I have many people who inspire me. Yeah, even in this profession.
Okay.
I have a shout out to my pupil master. In advocates, we usually have people whom we call pupil masters. They're the people who hold your hand. Yeah. I have my pupil master called Miss Wamboi Kabage. Very inspirational lawyer who I look up to every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is your advice to upcoming students who are pursuing law in various universities today?
Yes, I have the privilege and benefit of being a lecturer.
Okay.
So I teach law at the university, and I also teach law at the Kenya School of Law for lawyers who are doing the advocates training program, just getting ready to become advocates.
Wow.
In all my classes, what I tell upcoming lawyers and even anyone, law is such a noble profession.
Wow.
We have we have this power to make transformation in this country and in the society.
Wow.
Let us aspire to be lawyers who don't just look out for the money that we are getting, but we can actually help the community and the families get better and have a cohesive society. Yeah.
Wow. Wakili, can you say hi to two friends maybe live on TV so that we can finish our program?
Yes, I will shout out to Nazarene Wangare. I know she watches this from BNI. Thank you and hi, and from all my BNI friends and colleagues who watch this. Yes.
Our friends of BNI know Nazarene from Zarina Properties.
Yes.
Martin Mungai too.
Yes, Martin Mungai.
Madam Lilian Grishi.
Yeah.
Of Compute.
Yes.
Wow, and Pia, this guy known as Mr.
Matthew Alfred, yeah.
Say hi to them.
Alfred, hi. Alfred is actually what we call a buddy. He's my buddy in BNI. Yes.
That is great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Elvis, for coming.
Yeah.
We are very happy.
Thank you.
And a pleasure.
I
know we are going to create another time so that you can come here and discuss issues with families.
Yeah.
Because you as an advocate of the High Court and also a lawyer who is experienced when it comes to issues with families, you can be of great importance to our viewers and people of this great country.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We are happy.
Thank you.
Asante. Buri mundu wa Githima TV tumana mundu ogwetwo Mr. Elvis Abenga no akirithiranite muno makiria kuma kuri High Court na niagithiranite maũndũ-inĩ mothe megumainie na family. Tugukinyia hau ciambũri-inĩ ya nĩtũtagwo NJOGU wa KAMAU na gĩcokia ngatho kĩratho matigĩrĩra tabarĩra ĩno na kinya hamwe na njĩra ĩmwe na njĩra ithiranĩte. Mũndũ ũgĩtuĩka Jim nĩagĩtuĩka mũtabarĩri wa mwanya mũno makĩria Joe agĩtuĩkia rĩera-inĩ nake mũndũ ũgĩtuĩka karĩa atigĩrĩra atĩ mbica ĩno theru na thaka nĩgũkinya na njĩra ĩmwe na njĩra ithiranĩte. Gĩa na mũthenya mwega na ũrĩmi ũgũkumia kũngũĩra mũthenya ũyũ mwega o rĩrĩa tũragĩkũngũĩra kuma rĩrĩa twakĩgwatĩre wĩyathi. Asante sana. Gĩa na mũthenya mwega. Asante.
Mũndũ wanyendire ngamũĩta iguĩte ũhoro wake akĩnjĩrikĩrĩria. Njoĩ nĩ waumĩte kũ, kanendaga atĩa o thutha
mwega murumiriri wakwa njitagwo Bishop JJ Gitahi muini na muhunjia wa horo wa Ngai no ngohoye witikire